Hey, it's me, Vicki Marie, and I'm here to give you an update on poor Michael, the TV doctor whose body has been found. Now, it hasn't been confirmed officially, or it hadn't a minute ago when I was just watching the BBC News. When I say officially, you know, officially, but I think we can safely assume that it is him. Hello, baby. Oh, there's Princess Tia there behind me. Hello, darling. Hello. So yeah, you know, this sad news that his body was found, but now really sort of, you know, it's going to be this sort of steward's inquiry, isn't it, about how he ended up, you know, passing away. Where exactly was he found? Why was he not found earlier? Because it seems like he was quite close to a resort, you know, quite close to where there were a lot of people. You know, so there's questions, still questions, even though Michael's been found. It's hard to say the good thing. It's obviously not a good thing that he's deceased, but it's a good thing that he's been found. It's better than him not being found. And now I suppose comes the time of putting all the puzzles together, all the pieces of the puzzle together, and trying to work out what happened to him, you know. And so I've got a few things to show you. I just want to say thank you as always to my subscribers, people who like my videos. Don't forget to leave your fingerprint on the like button. To my members, I've got the 2 levels now of membership, and I've been transferring some videos over to the carry on chatting level. And that will be a live stream, especially on a Tuesday. And the other live stream for the Let's Chat membership will be Thursday. But if you're part of carry on chatting level, you can join in both those live streams. What was the other thing I wanted to say? So I have to do some housekeeping, because at the end of the day, that's important too. Thank you to everyone who sent me a super chat, bought me a Ko-fi, PayPal me, etc. Another thing I just wanted to tell you about before I start is loads of you have been emailing me and asking about merchandise. You know, I had a shop up here and I was selling mugs and T-shirts and all sorts of things. But, you know, it just got so expensive, you know, and as I think I've said to you before, I didn't start the merchandise to really make money. It was but I don't want to lose money, you know. And after 3 months on Shopify, they start off, it's only €1 a month to use their store, and then after that it's €25. Well, you know, you're not even making €25 a month on the store, so I had to take the store down. But one thing that I've realized that I can do, because yeah, a lot of people, thank you so much for your interest, have emailed me and asked, you know, where they can order merchandise. So I can order it on Printify. So I'm just showing you, these are some of the things that are available on Printify. There's mugs, T-shirts. Hang on, let me go back to page 1. And desk mats, calendars, probably a bit late for a calendar now, aprons, tote bags. The thing is, I can put any design on these. You know, it can be a Vicki Marie design. It can be not in the mood for twonks today. It can be like true crime and a glass of wine. You know, so if anybody is interested in merchandise, send me an email. You know, my email is vickimariechats@gmail.com. I will put it in the chat now. Send me an email. Tell me what you're interested in, and then I can let you know the prices, and because the prices obviously are individual to each different thing. Thing is, when I set up the shop, I was trying to do it so people wouldn't have to pay postage. So that's why. So I tried to keep the prices down, but for that reason, not only I wasn't, you know, making any money out of it, which, as I say, I really don't care about, but I didn't want to lose money on it. So let me just put my email there, Vicki Marie Chat @gmail. If you're interested in any kind of merchandise, let me know what you want. I literally can design it on Printify, and anything you want, you know, whatever picture you want, whatever saying you want, or if you want me to think of something that's appropriate to the channel, literally anything you want on there I can do. So, but let me know, and then I can give you a prize, and then you can decide if you want to do it or not. Okay, I'm going to go up to the top and say hello to everyone. Just before I came on air, somebody has sent me some very interesting tweets, etc. You know, I want to thank them for that, because they're very interesting. I hadn't seen them, but I'd already obviously prepared some what I think are interesting things to show you about this case. But it's going to be a mystery of how poor Michael got to that place and why nobody saw him before. But anyway, let me say hello to everyone first. Hi Chumba. Hi Tina. Hi Julie. I haven't seen the interview with the guy from the boat. What was that on? I can look for that. Hi Julie. Hi Tina. Sorry. Hi David. It doesn't take much for me to get sidetracked. Hi Quizzical. So there's a bit of chat going on there. Hi Heather. Hi Heather. Yeah. Okay. Okay. The new membership is $4.99, Chumba. What was that on? What was that interview on? Are you shouting at me, Chumba? Don't shout at me. You know I'll get to you sooner or later. Makes me laugh when people do initials and think that I can hear it better or see it better. It was on Sky News. Okay, I'll have a look on Sky News in a minute and see if I can find that. So in the meantime, for anybody who doesn't know what's been going on, I'm sure most people know, you know, what this subject is. This TV doctor, Michael Mosely, was on holiday in Greece, and for some reason he decided, he was there with his friends and his wife. They were on the beach. He decided to walk back. Some people say he was saying he was feeling ill. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if his wife has confirmed that or not. And then he went this unexplicable sort of walk. To me, it's unexplicable for a doctor who knows about health, etc. It just makes you wonder why he did that. And he was seen on CCTV arriving at a town. He got past a certain point. If that was him on the CCTV, supposedly he was seen waiting for a bus. And then he just disappeared, and now his body's been found, and not in a cave. You know, initially they were saying it was in a cave, then they were saying it was near a cave. Actually, it's not. It might be near a cave. You know, I prepared sort of videos of the caves, etc., to show you, which I will still show you in videos of the island itself. But it was nothing to do with a cave, was it? Really, when you see where he was actually found. Hi Ocean. Yeah, Quizzical, I think that's quite likely. I wonder if he did have a little bit of dementia, you know, and that is why he took he went the wrong way. And then of course the heat, if he was getting heat exhaustion, because although he had an umbrella, he didn't seem to have any water or not, and he's not a young man, he's 67 years old. Maybe in the end he just didn't know where he was going, because that's how it can get you, heat exhaustion. So he was found by a journalistic crew, apparently, allegedly. So let's just have a look at some of the oops, press the wrong button. Just going to have a look at some of the things I've been just sent literally just recently that I hadn't seen. So this This David Brown on Twitter, I don't know, he's a writer at the Times, says, heartbreaking news in the search for television Dr. Michael Mosely. A body had been found at a fence close to the beach resort of Agia Marina. The area was searched yesterday. The remains are close to a popular beach bar on the other side of the fence. So somewhere just over the other side here where he was found. Now, this guy said, oh, body discovered by UK journalists. But if you look into that a bit further, it wasn't found by UK journalists. The mayor of Simi, with a Greek reporter and a cameraman, were patrolling by the sea apparently and discovered the body while recording. That is seems to be the official version. A Greek TV crew that found it, but of course, everyone is saying, how was he not found before if he was so close to civilization, if you like? You know, we were all assuming that he'd gone off like some remote place, but he hadn't. This is because everyone was struggling in the search. The rescue dog was searching because his paws are burnt from the hot rocks. Well, why don't they put something on his paws? Oh, that's ridiculous. I'm sure there's something they can put on his paws. I mean, it's true, you can't walk your dogs. That's something else that people tend to do in Spain. And it's so, God, you know, it's so frustrating. Every year, all the warnings go out on social media, telling people not to walk their dogs. You're better off not giving your dog a walk, to be honest, you know, but people insist on walking their dogs, you know, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when the pavements are red hot. You try putting your foot down on the pavement or your hand. Well, you know what it's like when you're on the beach if you haven't got your sandals on or whatever, and the sand is red hot. So that's how it is for these poor dogs. I can't believe they haven't got something to put on his paws. You know, at the end of the day, it is Greece. They should know better than that. That's sort of made me a little bit angry, actually. Anyway, never mind. So, yeah, those conditions were terrible. Like for the poor dog, I've got to come off that because I'm angry. The conditions were terrible for the search teams, for the poor dog that was helping to search for him. Bless it. I thought it's just made my heart, you know, because you know what it's like with dogs. We use dogs for everything now, in searches and things, which is great. But, you know, you've got to look after their welfare, for God's sake. Can feel some swearing coming on, so I've got to get off that. So, yeah, so he was found, you know, this windy sort of area. Anyway, I'm going to show you somewhere even more sort of, I'm going to show you exactly where he was found. I just want to give you a warning because it's not very, you know, it's not nice to think about. So this was another tweet. I think it's by the same guy. I'm going to show you this. So, well, it's not very nice what he says, but Greek police and Coast Guard cover their noses as they examine the body found close to where Michael Mosely disappeared on Wednesday. The body is I shouldn't say badly there, decomposed, suggesting it's been there for several days. So this is exactly where it was found. And you can see it's very nearby the bar and there's people around. So it's why did it take so long to be found? Maybe they weren't expecting him to be there. And how has he got there? Look at that terrain. Look at that terrain. Has he fallen down there? Has he jumped off something? No, I'm just going through scenarios in my head. Did he fall? Did he jump? Was he pushed? Was he, you know, how did he end up there, and why was he not seen before? It looks like he might have fallen. Surely he wouldn't walk to there. It's not a path, is it? There's no path there, not that I can see. Does anybody know any more on that? Hi, Simon. No, how did he, I mean, is it him, you know? Is it actually him? Because it has, as I say, it hasn't been confirmed officially. Hi, Unity. Oh, thank you, Unity. Okay, I'll have a look. Oh, thank you so much. So this is the interview that Unity sent me.
So not research. I'm going to go over now and speak to a local cameraman who was out on a boat this morning with the mayor, and he tells us that at the end it ended up being a camera crew that found him, so not the search and rescue people. I'm just looking for him. He's just over there on the phone, so I'll bring him in a minute. But he's been telling us about what happened and how they were out doing interviews with the mayor on a boat. They were doing that. This is Antonios. Thank you so much for joining us. Antonios, tell us a bit about what happened.
We were sitting at this cafe bar, all the reporters, and we decided to go get on a boat and go have some shots through the sea where the search rescuers and the teams were going. During our trip, we saw some things inside the sea close to the rocks. We thought it was some umbrellas or something. We did some zoom and close-ups. It was nothing. And when we went at the Ayia Marina beach, I noticed outside of the fence at the end of the beach, something black. I wasn't sure, so...
Stop. Sorry, I've just stopped that while she stopped sparking, because this is important, isn't it, to listen to? Shh. No. Sorry, I'll go back a little bit. She always barks at the wrong moment, doesn't she?
Something, we did some zoom and close-ups. It was nothing. And when we went at the Ayia Marina beach, I noticed outside of the fence at the end of the beach, something black. I wasn't sure, so I took a close-up with the camera as far as it can zoom. It was about 300 meters away. I saw something I wasn't sure. I told the mayor he was sitting next to me, and he said, okay, on our comeback, we will check again. That we did, and we were a little bit closer, about 200 meters. I also took the shot again, but through the camera viewfinder, you know, it's 4-inch, it's too small. I wasn't sure, so we decided once we come to the cafe again, we will play back the footage. And we took a photo of the screen with an iPhone. We zoomed it in, and you can clearly see there is a man lying down with his hand on his belly, a watch, and on his other hand, he has his bag. The description is exactly as the guy we're looking for.
I didn't quite catch that, what you said. Hang on. Let me just see if we can get the... Can I get any... subtitle? No, you can't get any subtitle. Let me just listen to that bit again. I just didn't quite catch that, what you said. I know that you said that they could see a man lying on his belly, I think he said, on his tummy. And then he said, did he say he had an umbrella in his hand or something?
The description is exactly as the guy we're looking for. It's a man lying down with his hand on his belly, a watch, and on his other hand, he has his bag. The description...
In his other hand, he has his what? His bag, did he say?
Is exactly as the guy we're looking for. I'm really sorry for the family.
Oh.
I'm sorry that I'm the one who found. Sorry.
Oh.
This is clearly very emotional for you.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything to the family?
I wish we had better news.
Oh, bless him. What a little sweetie. Because it's not his fault, is it? He's done brilliantly to find him because, you know, I think maybe the search and rescue, they probably didn't look there. It's not a place you would think to look. They've been looking on the path, haven't they, etc. You wouldn't think to find him there just, you know, that you just can't imagine how he got there. He must have fallen down there. Surely he must have fallen. But this poor guy, he's traumatized, but actually he's done such a good thing by finding him.
Nothing.
Antonio, you said you went out looking for search and rescue teams and to film some of their work. Did you see any this morning?
They are searching on the other side of the mountain. But this area has been searched, I don't know how many times. You were here. Yesterday, the helicopter passed from this point about 20 times.
Oh my God. So he says it's been searched several times. The helicopter passed 20 times. Why was he not seen before? Oh gosh, this is turning into some sort of, you know, big mystery, isn't it? You know, it's not, it doesn't seem to be just a simple case of somebody, you know, getting lost or, you know, dying of heat exhaustion. Why was his body not found before?
There were drones, there were everything. I think it's just bad luck, or I don't know.
And describe to us where the body was in relation to the beach and how far.
About 40 to 50 meters from the beach, right next to the fence. It was a rocky.
Look at that, right next to the fence there. How has he got there? Unless he was walking down here or something. Doesn't really look like somewhere you could fall down either. How has he got there? Do you see, you know, it's not there's no path. No, unless he had got completely disorientated, maybe in the night. You know, maybe the nighttime came. I don't know. But, you know, that is a mystery how he got there, unless he was so disorientated. Very, very odd place, isn't it?
Place with sharp rocks, and my guess is that he got dizzy, he sit down to relax to something, and he fainted. That's my guess. I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you. And how are you feeling right now?
Really bad, really sad. Really sad. As I said, I wish we had better news for the family.
Oh my God, that poor guy, and you know, obviously poor Michael's family and that. But okay, so Unity sent me another tweet. Apparently, thank you for it. Yeah, it's always good to get this information because I probably wouldn't have seen this. I've got some more information that I want to show you from the other person that sent me some information. But first of all, let's have a look at this. So what's this? This is his route. He would have walked all around the way that the camera is panning. So let's have a look. Oh my God. Those would be like desert conditions, you know, like by the time the sun really started to, in Spanish, in Spain, they call, you know, apretar. As soon as the sun starts to really, I don't even know how to put it in English, to really clutch you, if you like. And that's how it feels. You know, when the sun's beating down on you like that, I mean, you can see there is no shade there. There is no trees. There's nothing. That is the most barren land you could imagine. And it's barren for a reason. It's barren because nothing can live there because of the sun is so hot and punishing. So, you know, why he did that? I can honestly, oh, sorry, I'm not sharing it, am I? Why he actually, let's go back to the beginning. So,
and I'll just show you where we are right now. So we've left Petty Marina, and if we go across this, you might be able to make out is a hiking trail that Dr. Mosley is believed to have taken after he left his wife and some friends on the beach at St. Nicholas. And we can show you St. Nicholas Beach when we
yeah, just look how barren it is, and now look at the distance that he's walked in that sun at the age of 67.
come across it, but to give you a sense of the distance that he would have walked from St. Nicholas Beach. So he would have walked all the way around the way that the camera is panning. That's Petty Marina that you can see there in the distance. And if we go onto this side, you'll see the terrain gets far more rockier. And this is where he's believed to have walked. This is north of Petty Marina. It's believed he walked in this direction. And when we spent time there yesterday, it was really hot there in the afternoon. And the conditions, we're told, on Wednesday were just as, if not hotter, as what we experienced yesterday. Someone told us that the temperature went up to 47 degrees.
47 degrees. That's, you know, 40 degrees is bad enough. 40 degrees is unbearable. That's normally about the hottest it ever gets to where I live. And that is totally unbearable. But if it got to 47 degrees, I mean, this poor guy, he really didn't stand a chance. Trouble is, once he started, I think once he sort of started on that walk, he probably ended up regretting it. But then where do you go from there? Do you turn back? You know, you get to a point where you just sort of keep going, because what else can you do? And I wonder if when he finally was overcome, if that's what happened, if he was heading towards that beach bar or whatever it was that seemed he was literally 5-10 minutes away from help by the look of it, maybe 15 minutes, maybe he just couldn't quite make it.
And it's just on the other side of that rocky terrain that his body has been found, and it's so close to a beach that we visited yesterday, and there are lots of people there. It's very popular amongst holiday goers, and he's on a fence.
So it seems like it's the Chihuahua. It's the Chihuahua's house again. Hey, stop. Can't stop the Chihuahua. Yeah, it makes you wonder, were the police searching the wrong side of the island? They seem to think he was over this side. I don't think the police or the search rescue or whoever, I don't think they thought that he would be so near to help, you know.
On the other side of the beach, and it feels like he's very, very close to that beach. And to get to that beach is actually quite inaccessible. You can only go by boat, which is what we're doing now, or you have to walk that route that Dr. Mosley is believed to have taken on Wednesday when it was an extremely hot day.
I'm going to put you out the back. Right. Sorry. It's poor dog. Hey, go on, move. I'm going to bang the book against the table because that's the only thing that makes her quiet sometimes. Let's go back and watch that again, hopefully without a dog noise.
And I'll just show you where we are right now. So we've left Petty Marina, and if we go across this, you might be able to make out is a hiking trail that Dr. Mosley is believed to have taken after he left his wife and some friends on the beach at St. Nicholas. And we can show you St. Nicholas Beach when we come across it, but to give you a sense of the distance that he would have walked from St. Nicholas Beach. So he would have walked all the way around the way that the camera is panning. That's Petty Marina that you can see there in the distance. And if we go onto this side, you'll see the terrain gets far more rockier. And this is where he's believed to have walked. This is now north of Pedi Marina, and it's believed he walked in this direction. And when we spent time there yesterday, it was really hot there in the afternoon. And the conditions, we're told, on Wednesday were just as, if not hotter, as what we experienced yesterday. Someone told us that the temperature went up to 47 degrees. And it's just on the other side of that rocky terrain that his body has been found. And it's so close to a beach that we visited yesterday. And there are lots of people there. It's very popular amongst holiday goers. And he's on a fence on the other side of the beach, and it feels like he's very, very close to that beach. And to get to that beach is actually quite inaccessible. You can only go by boat, which is what we're doing now, or you have to walk that route that Dr. Mosley is believed to have taken on Wednesday when it was an extremely hot day there.
So there you go. Did he just turn the wrong way? Will we ever know? I don't know if we'll ever know for sure. Everybody's emailing me all links and that. I'll have a look. What was that the link for? Okay, right, I'll find that in a minute. So we've got even more things to look at. Now, I just want, before we look at that, let's have a look. Oh, got some more. That hasn't arrived, that link, Julie. If you emailed it me, it hasn't arrived. Did you do it, Vicki, with an I? Anyway, I just want to show you this because this was another thing that's sort of pertinent to the case, and I think you might find interesting. That a police officer that was involved in looking for his body, finding his body, jumped over a wall and broke his leg. So a police officer involved in the recovery of a man's body close to where Dr. Michael Mosely disappeared has suffered a suspected broken leg. Bless him. So the poor dog's got burnt paws. The policeman's jumped over a wall and broke his leg, or suspectedly broken his leg. Oh, it looks broken to me. Did you see it then? Did you see it? Oh my God, it does look broken. Let's have another look. Oh, it does look broken. Oh, it's giving me the shivers, that. Oh, or maybe he's just the way he's holding it. I don't know, but it looks all sort of the wrong way. So he's jumped off a wall and broke his leg. So, my God, it's one thing after another that, it's bad enough. Look, you can see what the terrain is like. So they're having to try and get this guy over these rocks and everything. This is not like easy terrain to maneuver, is it? So if it's not easy for them, and they're a lot younger than Michael, trained in search and rescue, or they're paramedics or whatever, and they're finding it difficult, then how it must have been difficult for Michael. So there's just like a litany of casualties going on here. What we, as I say, with the dog, with Michael, of course, himself. So, yeah. Oh, Simon, were you hospitalised with sunstroke? Who's saying that? I'm sorry, I've lost that now. Yeah. Yeah, just check, Julie, that you've sent it to the right email, because it hasn't arrived. Though I have had emails from you before, of course, so I would have thought, I just wonder if he set off and then before he knew it, he was lost, and then once you're lost. And what was this about him being seen at the bus stop? Was he seen at the bus stop or not? Now, another thing I'm going to show you. Oh, yeah, I think your emails arrived, Julie. I've got my emails open. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, I think this is one of the reports that I had ready, but thanks for that. It's Because another interview I want to look at, we'll look at this one first, is another interview I want to look at is on TalkTV. Some guy was saying he was seen talking to a man. So I don't know if that's true or not, but we're going to look at that as well. There's so many things to look at. So this is a Times Radio interview that we're going to look at that Julie sent. Thank you.
Been found in the search for Dr. Michael Mosely. David Brown, the Times chief news correspondent, is on the Greek island of Symi. He's been bringing us regular updates. And David, what have you learned in the last few minutes?
Callum, extremely distressing news. I don't know if you can see behind me, the police have arrived. We discovered a body about 20 minutes ago, a badly decomposed body on the far side of the fence you can see just behind me. The body is wearing the similar clothing to that worn by Dr. Michael Mosely, and beside his head is a purple umbrella. And we know that Dr. Mosely was carrying an umbrella when he disappeared on Wednesday afternoon. It was discovered by British journalists. I was one of the first people to unfortunately see the very badly decomposed remains. The tragedy is it's just on the other side of the fence from this very popular beach restaurant and bar. It's a lovely place. I
just can't believe it's just on the other side of the fence from the bar. Imagine those people have been sat there eating and drinking and not knowing that he was just literally on the other side of the fence. That's so sad that he was so close, to being saved, to being safe. It's heartbreaking. It really is that he got so close. Maybe just finally, fainted, passed out, whatever. But gosh. Yes, remember to like, please. Listen, like on your way out if you want. Sometimes when you like in the middle of the video, it won't let you back on the chat.
50 yards from the gate, which would have given him entry to this resort. My guess is he might have stumbled and fallen. He's lying on his back with the umbrella rolled up, but lying at the back behind his head. Suggested to me he may have tripped. And
so the umbrella was rolled up. So was it night time? Makes you wonder, was he trying to negotiate that path at night? And as he tripped up, fell backwards. So he's saying he was on his back. I thought the other guy said he was on his belly, but I couldn't hear what he was saying properly. He's saying he was on his back with the rolled up umbrella. So if he'd rolled the umbrella up, you can presume then that the sun had gone down by then, I would presume. And I wonder if he was trying to negotiate that, that slope. Maybe he could see the lights from the bar. It just makes you think, God, was he that close to being safe and then he's just tripped or just fainted or, I mean, God, I tripped up at the Campo the other day and there was odd, just because I thought a cable was a shadow. If you were trying to negotiate territory like that with all those stones and rocks in the dark, be so easy to trip up. And of course, he would have already have been dehydrated. He would have already have been sort of not really quite knowing where he was. He won't have eaten, no water. So it would have been easy to trip, of course.
And was unable then to get up and has been there.
We've been following you as you've been moving around the island in the last couple of days. So could you just put the location of where you are in the context?
Yeah, I think as I discussed this morning, Callum, I said I was going to this lovely beach resort of Agia Marina, which is a 30-minute walk from the village of Pedi, which is the last place we know Dr. Mosely was caught on CCTV camera. We know he entered the mountain path that leads to Agia Marina and then on to the port where he'd been staying with his wife, Claire. This is a pit stop really on the way to the port, trying to get back home. It's beside a very nice, extremely nice beach resort at the sort of far end of the Bay of Pedi. And it's very close to an area where I was yesterday called the Abyss. It's a network of caves and tunnels where I spoke to 3 firefighters who I'd seen spent 40 minutes searching this area. They were searching closer to the sea. I'm about The body is about 150 yards up from where the seat is.
Okay. Yeah.
And clearly the rescuers didn't see it. It's in a slight gully by the fence, the wall of the fence.
Okay. David, we're going to leave that there, but we appreciate the update. Clearly it's distressing, so we'll let you go and take a moment as well. Thank you very much for the update. That's David Brown, the Times chief news correspondent, reporting from the Greek island of Symi, clearly with some distressing detail about a distressing story. So with apologies if any of you were taken aback by that. That's David Brown reporting from Symi.
I just want to say as well that, I understand obviously when people have got kids, they've got to take their kids away in the full heat of the summer and everything, because that's when the summer holidays are. But I honestly don't understand why people, if they haven't got kids with them, that would be my advice as someone who lives in a hot country. Don't come to Spain in July and August. I would avoid it like the plague if I could. Well, I do in a way, because I just hibernate inside my house. Honest to God, I rarely go outside my house in July and August. It's not only even the heat. Thing is, everywhere you go, there's loads of people, all the tourists, lots of families, obviously, and not only from European countries like, Britain, and every other country comes to Spain. Everyone comes to Spain. Because you're guaranteed the weather, aren't you, or more or less. But not only because of that, but everywhere's packed. So all the restaurants are packed, the supermarkets are packed, the roads are busy. It's the only time all year that the roads, that there's loads of traffic. If you don't have to come to Spain in July and August, because that's the only time you can get your holidays, why would you? But it's cheaper if you come the other times. Your flights are cheaper, your accommodation's cheaper. The weather is perfect. The weather's been lovely in May, and even now it's still not too hot yet. And don't understand why people go in the warmer times. And it seems like Greece, this part of Greece has gone to, is a lot hotter than here. So, to me, that's a place you would go maybe March or April, maybe even May. But it's just a general bit of advice from someone who lives in a hot country. It is nice to live in a hot country the rest of the year, but in the holiday season, it's not, for various reasons, as I say, not just the heat, but all the tourists descending. It's a time when you really want to get out of it, and you've got all the Spanish tourists come to my area as well. All the people that live in Madrid, they go out on holiday in July and August. So it's packed. It's horrible. It just looks like such an unforgiving place to me. So, it's even drier than where I am, in Spain. Some parts of Spain are lovely and green in the north of Spain, and that lovely. But this looks really, gosh, it looks really unforgiving, doesn't it? Look at the, there's no shade, no trees, nothing. Oh, there's a little dog that burnt his 4 paws, bless him. The thing is, on the actual campo, this is what we call the campo, like this ground, that he probably wouldn't burn his paws there, you know, here, but anytime he's on the cement, his poor little paws are going to burn, bless him. You should have some boots on. You can get little shoes for the dogs. I just can't imagine a worse place to walk than that. You know, it just looks, you know, so I know people say, oh, it looks beautiful. I don't think it looks beautiful, but that's probably because of where I live. That's just like the campo. It's ugly. I'd rather walk in the lovely woods in the UK, to be honest. Look at that. Oh, God. There. We have a few beaches like that. I mean, the beach looks beautiful. You can see that it looks beautiful, but look what you've got to get down to get to it. I'd be struggling to get down there, I think, these days. I'm better coming up, going down. I go, well, you know, it makes my head go dizzy looking down like that. You know, we've got a few beaches like that they're lovely once you get on them, but it's murder getting down there. God. And actually, do you know what? Why is it so popular? It's got shingly beach by the look of it. Don't like shingly beaches. I can't say it's a place I'd be in a rush to go and visit, especially not now. So yeah, I wouldn't say that's a place I'd like to go and visit at all, to be honest. Right. I haven't received another email, Unity. Oh, you send it me to Twitter, don't you? Let's have a look. So Unity sent me a photo. I'll just share it with you. Oh. I've got to share it. Hang on. I don't know how to make it bigger, I'm afraid. But so this is that beach bar thing, and that'll be where he was found here then, is it? Or is that even him? I don't know. But gosh, it's very sad, isn't it, to think that he was that close to help, you know. Or was it nighttime when he collapsed? And yes, Julie, I think it was said, was he using his umbrella as a walking stick, you know, by then, because had the sun gone down? I mean, look at this. It's just so barren and desolate. He must have taken the wrong turning. I'm sure you wouldn't deliberately be going that way. Surely not. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at some of the things I had prepared. Yeah, it's not a very pretty place, is it? Well, personally, I don't think it is. Maybe it's because I live in a place that's much prettier than that. So, you know, the beaches are much nicer and you've got lovely beach walks. You know, you've got proper esplanades to walk along. Do you know what I mean? In Spain, we call them the paseos. Most beaches have got a paseo of some kind. You know, like we'd call it an esplanade, I suppose, or a promenade. You know, that might be an unspoilt part of Greece, but I don't, you know, I'm not that bothered about going somewhere unspoilt. that I need to walk down all them rocks to get to a beach, I'm afraid. Okay, so I want to show you this interview with somebody saying that he was last seen talking to a man. Now, I don't know if this is true. This is on TalkTV. Might be true, it might not be true. Just an interview that I thought you might find interesting. So he's talking, this is Mike Graham talking with a Greek journalist.
Michael Mosely missing in Greece. He went out for a walk basically and vanished yesterday on the island of Symi. Let's talk now though to Panos Polyzaides. Panos, a very good morning to you. Welcome.
Very good morning to everyone. Symi is a small island. It's in the southeast corner of the Aegean Sea. I think the nearest place that most people would know is the much bigger and much more popular island of Rhodes.
Yes.
The search resumed at dawn today. It includes a number of firemen, volunteers, a police dog, a helicopter, a drone, heat detecting cameras, and that sort of kit.
Yes.
Yesterday, Michael Mosely was at the beach with his wife, and then at about 1:30, he decided to walk to the island's town, to the center.
Right.
And at about 20 minutes past 2 in the afternoon local time on Wednesday, he was seen by a woman talking to another man. And that was the last time he was seen by anyone, as far as we know at this stage. His mobile was found in the rented room he kept with his wife. And all the possible routes he might have taken have been scanned thoroughly by the authorities. No trace has been found. The search.
I wonder if that man has come forward then that he was seen speaking to. You know, he should have done, because if if he's got nothing to hide, he may be the very last person to see him. But that was at 2:30, he said, so it was still daytime. I mean, the thing is, it's daylight now until 10 o'clock at night here in Spain. You know, the sun doesn't go down till 10 o'clock at night. So why was he not seen again after that?
Was extended to other areas. Right. And well, it doesn't look good after almost 2 days.
And Panos, does it from what you say, does it sound as though Michael made it into the town then from the beach?
It's quite questionable. It's quite doubtful, because the authorities believe that if he had been on that path, they would have found him. The fear, as expressed by the island's mayor, is that well, he might have fallen into the sea.
Right. Because the terrain from the beach to...
Well, he didn't fall into the sea. I know they were thinking that, and it's one possibility, isn't it? I think they were stumped, really, where it could be. Probably the last place they were expecting to find him was right near that restaurant.
The town involves travelling over quite high cliffs, does it?
Yes, apparently. And unless, of course, he changed his mind and decided to go somewhere else. Right. But then again, it's a small island. The search will yield some results, if there are any to be found.
Of course.
So it looks bleak, as I said earlier, and people are quite mobilized there. There are units flown in from Rhodes, and from a helicopter from Athens was deployed in the area. And I suppose a lot of answers might be found when this man who last was seen speaking to Mike Mosley is identified.
Right. And the fact that you mentioned his phone...
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this man. Has any of you out there heard this man that was last seen talking to him? Who was he?
Being found in the rented villa that they were staying in. Does that suggest he got back there after being at the beach, or was that there all the time?
This is not clear either. He may have just left it there, right, because he was going to the beach and he wanted, to self-isolate in a way. Right. Or he may, as you said, he may have made his way back to the room before going into town or wherever he went.
See, I understand that maybe he wanted to disconnect from his mobile. You know, when you're on holiday, I expect someone like him, he's a TV celebrity, probably gets, you know, I don't know, messages or whatever to do with work, you know, and he probably, you know, didn't want those messages. But you just turn your phone off. I wouldn't be without my phone anywhere. I might turn it off, but there's even when I take my dogs for a walk in the morning, if you know, when I don't, even if I'm not going far or going anywhere that isolated, I always take my phone with me. You know, and if I wanted to just, you know, not be incognito, if you like, or, you know, not be bothered by anybody, I would just turn it off. So I think this is it's definitely what we have to learn from this is when you go walking, especially in hot places, and a little bottle of water, you know, that I know he had an umbrella, and that's a good idea. Don't need a special parasol or anything, just your normal umbrella that you would use, you know, when it was raining can really shield you from the sun. It's a very good idea. And it can double up as a walking stick if you're going through rocky terrain, or I suppose it can treble up as a weapon if somebody tries to attack you or whatever. But, you know, so an umbrella is a good idea, but water is water is life, you know, at the end of the day in these hot countries, water is everything. So even just a little bottle of water, an emergency bottle of water. It's a shame he didn't have, you know, a little rucksack with like his phone, his little bottle of water, maybe an energy bar or an energy drink or something. But of course he wasn't expecting. So if you feel like it's like the perfect storm, isn't it? He went to the beach with his wife and his friends. They went on a boat, didn't they, round to the beach? And then whether he felt ill or not, or whether whatever his reason was for saying he was going back to the apartment, that's really what's caused, you know, that's what's caused the problem, isn't it? Just on the, you know, he's gone spontaneously, decided to walk. And I presume there was a beach bar there on the beach. You know, he could have bought a little bottle of water or something just to take, just in case, but he didn't. He obviously wasn't expecting it all to go wrong. But I think you've got to talk about preparing for disaster, those kind of things. You do have to, don't you? So bless him.
Right. So, I mean, obviously they'll be hoping for something to find today in some way, shape or form. And I suppose it's always difficult to know when in this situation you stop searching.
I suppose this being a very small island, as I said, Simi being a small island, they will be in a position to scan and search the island completely fairly soon, and then, you know, come up with an idea as to whether Michael Mosley is on the island or not.
Right.
The longer it takes for him to be found, the worse the odds are.
Yes.
Well, another video I was watching, they had somebody on saying, oh, in Greece, they only search for people for 4 days. And then they call off the search because they presume they're dead because of the weather. I don't believe that for a minute. I think they would search for someone as long, I'm not saying they would search for them for years or maybe not even months, but certainly not just 4 days and then think, I can't be bothered looking for him now. I don't believe that at all. I think it's a load of rubbish.
Of course. Well, very nice to talk to you, Panos. Thank you very much indeed. A tragic story, we fear, but hopefully there will be some good news perhaps later on.
Well, that was obviously before he was found, so we didn't get any good news. But now I'm going to look at the TalkTV when he was found.
Of the Greek island of Simi has confirmed that a body found in a cave on that island is that of the missing TV doctor Michael Mosely. Many news outlets now reporting that that body is his. Let's now cross the line. Let's now cross live to the journalist based in Athens, Yanni Orestis, who joins us now. Morning to you, Yanni.
Hello, Christoph.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us here on Talk here in London. Many people were expecting to, were hoping to find the doctor alive. Sadly, not the case.
Yes, unfortunately, it has come on the 5th day after his disappearance. The story of Dr. Mosley comes to a tragic ending. He has been found dead close to a beach on the north side of the island. As you said, it was pretty much clear from the start, even if it was not officially confirmed. It was clear that it would be him. He was recognized from his clothes. He was actually found, located by the Greek public broadcaster, a camera for the Greek public broadcaster, who saw something shining close to a fence near a beach on the north side of the island. Now, what's inexplicable is why that doesn't solve all the questions we have about Dr. Mosley's disappearance. We still don't know why he took this detour. We still don't know how he ended this way. We can see from the footage we have of his body that it's close to the beach, but it's on a kind of steep terrain, so we can assume that he might have tripped and fallen and maybe down the hill. But there's still a lot of questions going on.
And the area where Dr. Mosley was found, his body was found, was that in the area that people were discussing yesterday? This very mountainous terrain that was particularly difficult for people to cross. In fact, it's called the Abyss because a lot of residents on Simi, they don't take that route from the town of Pevi to get.
I mean, the more you see this, the more you just think, what? Just crazy to walk to. What I think he must have taken the wrong turn, and you wouldn't walk along there voluntarily, would you? Surely.
Get to the marina where he was heading. Is that the area where he was found?
Not exactly. I mean, it is in the general direction of the abyss, but pretty much Dr. Mosley appears to have fully crossed the mountainous terrain and made it all the way back to the beach on the other side. That's what we got from that. It appears that on the end of this stretch of this dangerous path, Dr. Mosley collapsed. So we still can't be certain what happened.
So that's interesting, because both occasions now, because the first area of the search was from the area of Ios Nicholas to Pevi, where there was the coastal area, and everyone thought, okay, that's quite treacherous. Well, that's an area where we would expect something to have gone wrong. But then the CCTV showed that he made that. Then the CCTV showed that he tried to cross this very mountainous stretch from Pevi to close to where he was staying. And again, what you're saying is he appears to have very nearly got through that, and his body was actually found quite near to the destination he was heading to.
Yeah, bear in mind this path he took does not lead to where he was staying. That's what's strange about it. Well, initially the first path you mentioned, the path from the beach he took to Pevi, which is the small harbor that has many shops, and where he was last seen and caught on CCTV. It's quite an easy route to take. It's one of the easiest, let's say, hiking paths on the island. Many people do it, and it's not really dangerous. So yeah, after that, what's inexplicable is that Dr. Mosley did not continue east where he was staying, but went to the north across this mountainous region, which only leads to a beach. It doesn't have anything else there. So we don't know why he did this. What is true, though, and you mentioned this, is that it was pretty much clear from yesterday after he was caught on CCTV from multiple sources.
I say it is a mystery. When we have the autopsy, then that will hopefully clear up. Obviously the way he died. Did he have a heart attack? Did he die of heat exhaustion? Did he just take the wrong turn? And it just seems so sad, because he seems to have been so close to help, when he did finally succumb.
It was clear that he made this detour, and they knew where they would find him. All the rescue groups
Why did it take so long, do you think? Because a lot of people now will be saying, well, look, Simi is it's not a big island. Surely it shouldn't have taken this amount of time to have found him.
Well, I know it seems that way because we also mentioned this a couple of days ago that Simi it's indeed a tiny island with very very specific routes. But if you look at the footage, well, we have not seen that he was actually found by accident. As I said, the camera person of the public broadcaster saw something signing, and if you look at the footage, it appears that Dr. Mosley's body was hidden behind the fence, close to the water, down the end of the hill, close to the water. So it was really I would say, I don't know if I could call it luck that he was found even after all these days.
But by chance, it wasn't.
Yeah, I think that the search and rescue just wouldn't have thought to look so close to the bar there. You know, they were over the other side looking at where it looked like he was going and didn't look, you know, in almost the obvious place.
The place where he was expected to be. And
yeah, it was difficult to find him. It was really random. He was seen from it appears that he was seen from a boat. Something was seen signing from a boat, and that ended to be his body.
And of course, obviously not in the most treacherous part, which was probably where rescuers were concentrating the search.
Well, yeah, it's along these routes, but as I said before, it's at the end of this path. And I mean, the rescuers had both the volunteer groups and the fire brigade and other services, the Coast Guard that were looking. They were looking at the right place. It was, I think, it was a matter of time that they would find him. It was pretty clear that Dr. Mosley. Well, we can assume that he went there for I don't know, for another swim. Maybe he got lost. These are questions that have to be answered along the way.
Is this still a big story in the Greek media? Obviously, you know, he's a television presenter here based in the UK. He's written many books, presented many shows. Is this still a big story on Greek television?
Quite big, and not only television, newspaper, websites, everything. And it's interesting because it remains a big story, even though today Greeks are, voting for their representatives for the European Parliament, and still making headlines in many.
Yeah, that was a video that I was going to do today before this all came up, because it's European elections today. Sunday's always the voting actually started Thursday, but Sunday's the day that most Europeans make their vote. Of course, if you're British, we're not in the European elections anymore, but it's a big day, So I was going to talk about that. That was the video I was going to do this afternoon. But I've sort of run out of time now because I'm going off to my friends shortly to hopefully have a swim in the pool. But yeah, so it's been taken over by this very sad news of Michael being found. But isn't it weird? It's like, we've talked about this so many times. We're still looking. Well, we're not looking, but we're still waiting for Samantha Murphy's body to be recovered. We're waiting for Anna Knezevich's body to be recovered. We're waiting to find out what's happened to Sebastian Rogers. Hopefully it's not a body that's going to be recovered. And then we've got other cases where a body's been found, but the killer's not been found, like Rachel Marin. So it is good news that he has been found, but rather, just to end that misery, it's a different sort of misery they're suffering now. But the worst misery was these days, his wife said, didn't she? Just awful to not know what's happened to him and to be worrying. So it's that cold comfort of bringing his remains home and hopefully being able to get them back to the UK. Maybe he had travel insurance, because that's a whole nother thing.
In many outlets, as you'll see, it was a major rescue operation. First of all, this is we have dozens of volunteers. We had helicopters flying, rescue dogs, all the services involved in trying to track Dr. Mosley. So that on its own made the headlines and attracted the curiosity of the Greek public. But also it's very unique that someone would get lost in Simi. So you can imagine that everyone would be curious. I mean, it's not that the Greek public is really accustomed with Dr. Mosley. They don't really know him.
Yeah, because when you look at this barren land, you don't think, it's different if someone gets lost in the bush, or in the woods or whatever, and it's so difficult to find them. You would have thought that, because it is so barren, and you can see things, you know, like with the drone. Why didn't the drone see him? Did they just not go over that side? I mean, how could the drones not have seen him? You know, this is, and somebody said that area had been searched many times, so it's, still think it's all a bit
He
odd.
was a public figure, but the story itself of the mystery of what happened, yeah, has attracted viewers' attention, definitely.
Listen, really good to get the update from you and the detail there of the really sad end to this story. Yanni Orestes.
Okay, so I think just to finish off, I'm going to go back to what we looked at, because a few people have come in and they're saying about where he was found. I'm going to look at the exact place where he was found that was on Twitter. We're going to look at that so you can see where he was found. And it was here, so you can see where the police are, or the search and rescue, whoever they are. And I think, I don't know if that is his actual body, I don't know, because you can't see, but that is where he was found, just on the other side of this fence. And it's right near a bar, restaurant, beach complex. So he was so close to being found, or finding. He was close to being found and close to finding help, safety, before he succumbed or whatever happened to him, had a heart attack, tripped up. You know, we just don't know, do we? But that is literally where, that is the scene where he was found. Just wondering, I think, okay, no, I have to finish that. I've got to go, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the thing is, you have to seize the day, don't you? You know, when you, these kind of stories that make you see, you've got to make the most of every day, because that poor guy, he went off on holiday, he was probably looking forward to his holiday, never realizing that that was going to be his last holiday. And even that morning, going off to the beach, not knowing he was going to get lost. You know, how things can catch you out. You know, even when you feel, I don't mean to frighten, I'm not trying to frighten people. What I'm trying to say is live for the moment, because you just never know when it's the last moment, do you? So anyway, I'm going to go off and have a swim. I may be back later on tonight. I'm not sure yet, but prayers for Michael, for his soul, if you like, and I hope he's at peace. I hope he's, you know, they say it depends what you believe, but once you leave this, shuffle off this mortal coil, let's hope, you know, he's okay now. That's all we can hope. But the people that will definitely need our prayers are his family, his children, friends, etc. It's so very sad. It's always sad, you know, when to lose anyone, but this just seems just like it could have been avoided, isn't it? You know, sometimes things happen, people get ill, or there's accidents. That this seems so avoidable, that it's just so frustrating that just he only had to go that, you know, last out a few more, and he would have walked into that complex. Like, here I am, you know, and they would have got him an ambulance and got him to the hospital and, you know, give him drips and things like that, and you know, dealt with his whatever was wrong with him, you know. And it'd be interesting to see. Thing is, if the body's quite badly decomposed, it seems like maybe he died even on the first day, you know, maybe not just recently, you know. But anyway, the autopsy forensics will be telling us that, you know, how long he'd been there, etc. But it does just seem so very avoidable. But yeah, so yeah, we've learned a lesson. Phone, water. Phone is the most important thing, really, even more important than the water. Because if you've got your phone, you just phone your wife. He could have phoned his wife and said, "Oh, I'm here, I'm lost." You know, send someone out to look for me. You know, the phone is crucial. And I know phones can be a pain when you want to switch off from social media, maybe get a break from people messaging you or whatever's going on. But your phone is so important, isn't it? So important. Okay, so thanks for being here with me. I will see you really soon in the next video. Until then, take care. Remember to live and love carefully, wisely. Don't forget to like on your way out. And if you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing, because it's a free way that you can help me out. Thank you so much. And until I see you again, as always, may your God go with you. Let's put my little end video on. Bye.